on, New York sports fans? This is your man, Pistol Pete, coming at you with some New York Knicks news. So first up, I'd like to give a shout out to all New York sports fans out there. We're going through some tough times, and I want to shout out to you guys for sticking through it. Keep your heads up. Things are looking bright. We have a very bright future. And first thing I'd like to talk about is I saw a news article on the New York Post today. And I just want to summarize that the caption pretty much said, the title of the article, "Dark Cloud Hanging Over the New York Knicks Season Coming this soon." And I'd like to comment on that. I don't see a dark cloud hanging over this team at all this season. We have come a long way, and we're way far ahead of the curve than anyone could have ever expected from this team. We're young, we're talented, we're gritty. I hear content creators, you have a nickname for the Knicks, the New York Grits, because they're real gritty. And we love that about New Yorkers. What are we? We're hard workers. We come to work every single day. We try to provide for our families the best we can, make that money, get that hustle, and we do what we have to do. It's the city that never sleeps, the Big Apple, right? So we would love our basketball team to emulate that as much as we can. So dark cloud hanging over the team, that seems pretty pessimistic, don't you think? At least I do. I think that the future is really bright. I think on the other side of the fence here. The glass is half full with this team. Yeah, do we need pieces? Of course we do. For example, in my opinion, we only have 3/5 of a legitimate starting team for this NBA. We have Mitchell Robinson, who's currently hurt, who is going to be a monster in this league. He already is, and he's only going to grow and become a better player. Then we have Julius Randle. Who ever expected Julius Randle? Think about last year. No one thought he was even going to be on the team this year, let alone be the floor general or the motor that runs this team. He lost weight throughout the offseason. We all know this. He's playing at a higher level. It's almost like people say a LeBron-esque type of player. And he's always had that potential. This is the team for him. I don't see him as a tradable asset at all. If he continues to play like this, he's 26, 27 years old. He's in his prime. This team runs behind him, right? Then we have on there R.J. Barrett, the Maple Mamba. Now, this guy right here, there's a lot of R.J. haters out there. I don't agree with it, but I understand. You know, he's not producing as much. But remember, he's only 20 years old, right? And then you have the two guys on the team that I feel that aren't legitimate NBA starters, at least for this type of squad. Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock. Those guys are really good players. Yes, they are. Without a doubt, in my mind. With the eye test, they are very good. But they're not a legitimate championship starting squad team. For a team like that. The point guard, in my opinion, is the most important position in basketball. And you have to be, because you're the floor general. The commander, would say in a chain of command, if we're going to speak military terms, would be the coach. Under the coach, the very next player would be the point guard, because he's the one running the offense and running the defense. The team goes by his energy. That being said, Elfrid Payton is a little too inconsistent, in my opinion, to have the Knicks extend to the next level. He's a really good backup. Without a doubt, he's a really good backup. But not a championship caliber starting point guard. Excuse me. I got a little kitty. She wants to join the video. You guys will get to meet Bolita sometime in the future. This is my first day. Sorry about that. Hi, Bolita. So, then we have Reggie Bullock. Now, through the eye test, yes, Reggie Bullock is a great defender. That's awesome. He's way too consistent on the offense. He doesn't really have a mid-range game. He's too inconsistent with the three. He launches shots from almost 4 or 5 feet behind the three-point line for no reason It just seems like this they don't have really good communication, and they're a little too confident with what they're doing. I get it, because under this type of offense that I see, because Mike Woodson is the assistant coach, right? So he has the influence on how the offense is run. If you remember the Knicks, when Mike Woodson was the coach and we had that 53-win season, they were launching shots from all over, but they had shooters. Remember Lynn Saturday guys? Woohoo, Steve Novak dropping them. Well, my point is this. Those guys aren't those type of players, right? So we have to live through it. We have to grind. We have to get by. It's okay. We are way ahead of the curve. So no matter what happens this season, it's a win to me. You know, we're almost at the level of what they predicted of total wins for the season. No one ever thought to be at 500 and be a playoff contender at this point, no matter who was the coach, right? And that's another thing. Let's talk about Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau came over here, and obviously everyone was like, "Oh, we're not sure if he would fit for this team because the players won't want to play for him." First of all, winning fixes everything. Does Tom Thibodeau make them work hard and have accountability for their actions? Yes. Isn't that how we're supposed to be as Americans or as sports players or even in regular life? Isn't there a chain of command where you're supposed to follow in your boss's orders or what you're supposed to do? Yes. So, although if you may not like it, buying in is something automatic. No matter who your coach is, buy in to the system. And this Knicks team did just that. They are grinding it out. They're grinding it out. And I know I'm stuttering right now, but I just can't think of another word to come up with it. I have a love for this team. I've been a fan of this team since a childhood, Patrick Ewing days. 1985, he was drafted. I believe I started watching him in 86, 87, if I can recall correctly, the first time I watched him play. I was a little boy, and I was like, "Oh, who's that tall guy making those shots and blocking those shots?" I was like, "Wow, he got me into basketball, actually, wanting to watch, that team." So that being said, I have a lot of knowledge, and I have the pulse of this team. And the most important position going forward would be the point guard. Under a Tom Thibodeau team, if you remember when Derrick Rose first came into the league, he was the scariest player. Yes, he was one of a kind. But if you realize that if you have an attacking point guard that can at least make layups, Elfrid Payton, can you make a layup, please? For once. You know, you're way too inconsistent. If you could just make those layups or get that flow to the drop every now and again and not throw up so many breaks, then and only then will you be 100% accepted to be the floor general of the New York Knicks. That's the one issue. It's not that he's not a good ball player, because I love the way he plays defense and I love the way he plays the game. But he misses too many easy shots. Reggie Bullock's issue with me is that he takes too many shots that are unnecessary for him to take. And if he's going to play a game like that, where he's going to try and have a mid-game and pull up from the foul line or pull up from the baseline, maybe you should practice that. Practice that part of your game. And so I don't want to go too deep. This is my first video I've ever posted on YouTube. I'm actually trying to start a channel. I really do appreciate anyone that has watched this video. Please drop a comment. I do want to have a lot of different talks. This channel, I actually want to start. You guys can talk about anything. Sports curses people talk about, or superstitions, anything. Maybe some people think that the refs are manipulating the game. That's a really good subject matter. I would like to touch on that in the future. So if you really like this video, drop a comment. If you didn't like it, drop a comment anyway. All constructive criticism and all praise is welcome. This is an open channel for any sports fans, but obviously I'm focused on the New York Knicks. They're my favorite team. I'm a front runner for that squad, and I'll always rep my New York team. I'll never leave, no matter how bad it goes. Well, that's all I got for today. Guys, If you subscribe, don't forget, hit the notification bell. I'll come at you with another one in the future. And like, if you feel like it, throw a comment. All right, this is Pistol Pete. I got 2 guns up for all your haters. I'll be back. Let's be back later. Peace.